Hey guys, James here. Quick transparency. This is a singular part to what will essentially be a 12-part series that I do throughout the year, where I just steal an idea from the purple guy and basically just do a media retro, or not really retrospective, but kind of my media list for 2025. Again, all transparency, I am stealing this from the purple man himself. I'm not gonna name him just because I think everyone in my audience knows who I'm talking about, and I want to go throughout the year, not directly naming any big Death Battle YouTuber names, and just see if people can understand who the hell I'm talking about without me ever saying their name. But I am essentially stealing this idea from him, and I'm not gonna make 2 4-hour long videos. I'm just gonna do like singular parts for each month. This is gonna be in the start of every video. So I hope you enjoy this, and I don't know, let's just go watch the video. I went into this movie with like very low expectations because it's fucking Despicable Me 4. It's the 4th Despicable Me movie. And I think it's because I went in with very low expectations that I found myself liking this a good bit. Like, is this a good movie? No. Can it be fun though? Yeah, I'd say it's fun enough. It's a fun enough movie. It's definitely one to where like just turn your brain off. Don't think too hard on it overall. Is it weird that the girls have not aged at all, but now there is a baby? Yes, that is very weird. How are these kids still the same age when there has been age shown? Like fucking Scarlet Overkill has gray hair now in prison. How are these kids still the same age as they were like fucking 20 years ago? Almost 20 years. What year was the first one come out? 2009? Like almost 2 decades ago. A decade and a half, I think. I don't know. It's weird that they're not aged. Is the villain that good? He's fine. I don't know. He's pretty, like, lackluster compared to, like, the other Despicable Me villains. I'd say I probably like him more than the Minions 2 villains, just because I don't even remember jack shit about them outside of there being a nun. But I'd say, this guy who's a cockroach dude, for whatever fucking reason, probably better than those guys. I don't know, it's not a high bar there. But there's some good jokes. The whole, like, Super Minions thing, for what got marketed a whole lot with the film, and there are, like, toys for, they don't really do much. Like, they be shitty heroes for a bit, then suck at their job. Then they retire, and then they come back with a fucking stampede of bees, cows, fucking cheese wheels, some other shit gambling. And it's just like, fucking seagulls. It's just like, okay, sure, whatever. I guess that rounds out that. I don't know, they didn't do much. But they're marketed a lot. I don't know, I found it fun. There's some good jokes in it. I like Gru. I don't know, I like Gru in general. The Minions weren't, like, annoying in this, partly because, yeah, they were, like, the B plot mostly. I don't know. I don't hate it. I liked it, but I did go in with, like, super low expectations. Like I said, this is more so a movie to just go and just turn your brain off and just enjoy, I guess. So I'm re-recording this because a lot of my audio got fucked over by my AC, but this is like my first fully playthrough of any Valve title. I've played a lot of Gmod, but that's like a sandbox thing, there's no completing it. I've played a decent bit of Half-Life 2 and Portal 2, but I'm not beating them yet. This is like the first real Valve title that I have actually beaten, and I fucking love this game. This game is just a lot of fun. I really like the zombie genre in general, and this is definitely, like, one of my favorites of the bunch. My favorite will probably always be Telltale's Walking Dead, but, like, excuse me, this one's up there. Because this is just a fun game. Like, you're just going around shooting these zombies, but it's still fun. I do like the different kinds of, like, special zombies and all that shit. I love them, they're pretty cool. Some of them can be a bitch to deal with, especially like the hunter and the jockey. but they are still fun to play, fun like to go up against. They're really cool little zombies. And I also just really like the stages here. My favorite is definitely like the concert stage and the bridge stage. I love those. What's the concert one? I just love how you're on this stage while fucking this cool as hell rock music is playing. Midnight Riders, I think. And you're just fighting off these swarms of zombies. That is really fucking cool. I love that. And then like the bridge where you're going down this gauntlet of the undead with your team and just trying to make it to the end. I love that. That is so cool. They even made sure, like, with that one specifically, everyone made it there. The only one where I didn't have all survivors was like the rock stage, and just because that was a lot harder. I think just because it's a lot easier just to get like completely fucking swarmed and not realize the helicopter is there just yet. I don't know, at least for me. The only stages where I'm like, I'm not fully vibing with this is like the swamp. Just almost the entirety of it. Just like just running through the swamp wasn't the most fun. It's kind of like the most, like, a lot of things look similar to each other. And then like in like the neighborhood, specifically after like it's raining like hell and you gotta start backtracking, that I didn't enjoy. Just too much of things just look too similar to each other, to where it feels like I got easily lost during that. I don't know, maybe if I replay it, I won't have as much of a hard time and have a better opinion on it. But I think too much kind of looks too similar to each other for me to fully go like, hell yeah, I love this stage. But besides that, I really like a lot of the stages here. They're a lot of fun. And like, I also really like the crew here. I like whenever we do get like dialogue between them, I love how their personalities kind of bounce off each other pretty well. Ellis is definitely my favorite. I thought I was going to go in with like Coach as my favorite because I see a lot of like clips of him, but nah, Ellis is probably my favorite. I just love how like you're sitting in the safe house for a bit, and Ellis starts talking about like some story with one of his buds, and then like one of the other people says, "Not the time, Ellis," and I love him. It's fun. Hold on. AC started blaring again, and I wanted to quick turn that off so I didn't fuck the audio again, even though it's hot. Anyways, I really love the game. I love how these characters bounce off each other. And while I know it will never fucking happen, I would love to see a Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead Free. Yes, I would love to see a Left 4 Dead Free. I know a lot of people want Half-Life free, Portal free. We all know none of these will ever happen, but Left 4 Dead free I would very much enjoy. This is a very fun game. I definitely love it. I do wish I got to playing it sooner, but I love this game. 3D Workers Island. This is a internet horror. I love me my internet horrors, obviously, you can't tell by now. Made by the same person who made Petscop. And Petscop is considered like one of the greatest when it comes to like internet horror series. As it was definitely like, it was like revolutionary. Around like the time of people making all these like horror series about like a haunted game, Petscop was actually a game made for the series. In my opinion, I don't really like Petscop that much. I do hold huge respect for the series. Like, it is a milestone within the whole history of internet horror. Not even like any specific genre. And I do agree with the notion that we'll probably have another example like Petscop in history. If we do, it will be a long time. But I'm not the biggest fan of Petscop, and it's purely because of how broken the storytelling feels. And I get it, that is like part of the big appeal, is its storytelling and like, how loose it is. I'm just not a big fan of how it feels borderline impossible to actually get a narrative. And while people do praise it, it does kind of come across to me as very like storytelling where the guy making it had no fucking clue what he was doing and just kept throwing things to the wall that like vaguely connected, but people are like kind of piecing together. That's my impression. I don't think too lowly of the guy though, because like he made a full fucking game for his internet horror series. You can't say that about a lot of people. Like, it's not super often we see people making whole games from scratch with, like, a whole original ideas for their internet horror. Like, you don't typically see that. So I have to give a lot of credit for that. I just think storytelling, it doesn't really click with me. But I can get why people may like it, and I do agree, like, it deserves its popularity. 3D Workers Island, well, it's not, like, incredibly in your face with its storytelling. It still has a lot of vagueness and stuff you as a reader have to piece together. It's it's a lot easier. It does feel like there is, like, a consistent story in what it wants to tell. And like, it may take a minute for you to, like, kind of connect the dots on what's happening. But once you do, Jesus fucking Christ. So, 3D Workers Island is basically, you remember those old screensavers? I wasn't in this era, or if I was too young to remember it. But he had shit like the fucking looping pipes. That's the only one I could come to mind. Where that shit is perfect for children and stoners. 3D Workers Island is one of those screensavers type series where it's kind of like you watch these little people on an island with a single red house and their fun little activities. But as people look back on it and people look more into it, they notice a lot more horrors going on behind the scenes. And there's even been cases of hearing screaming from the screensaver. And I am recording this a decent bit after actually, like, not really watching, but, like, experiencing 3D Workers Island after, like, going through the website, reading everything, and, of course, going through a couple videos to connect a couple dots. But this series is about abuse, like, child abuse, and, like, not knowing what's going on behind what the fuck did I just say? Going on behind the scenes. That's what I meant to say. I don't know what humming shit I just said, but basically it's that. The kid Amber and, like, her horrors living in this house. And as well as, like, everyone, like, there's this whole website dedicated to talk about it. Everyone loves Amber, except one person, Pat. And Pat is also a character within the game. So you kind of have this possible, like, weird reality where the character Pat is the real person Pat, making all these comments. And, like, it is very dark. It is, like, a real life horror. I will say one of the possible downsides to this is that there is no facial expressions, so some stuff can be left vague. But similar to Petscop, that does kind of feel intentional. And I think it kind of works better here, as there's not, like, a whole fucking grab bag of 50 fucking things happening at once and trying to connect all them dots. Like, no diss to Petscop. I think it's great. Well, I don't think it's great, but I respect it. I see why people like it. It's just not my thing. Where I just think 3D Workers Island does storytelling much better. But basically, Amber is being abused by Pat. It seems like her little sibling, Holland, kind of gets away with doing whatever the fuck, while Amber receives all the abuse. We got another character, Grace, who's always looking away. Rebecca, who seems to be in a relationship with Pat. And then Joe, who I don't know what the fuck Joe's role in this is. But it seems like all the adults here is doing shit to Amber. Likely abuse, physical abuse, as we even have, like, a scene next to the house of Pat potentially hitting Amber. And it was like the jank fucking movements of these little people. Sometimes it's hard to tell exactly what's happening, but it honestly works in the series' favor. I can't give it full credit here, because there's also a lot of these, like, screenshots from, like, the website where, like, a bunch of these conversations went, calling Pat out on, like, the real person Pat out on her behavior, and, like, how Pat says Amber is a lazy child and don't know why people really like her, when for what's called 3D Workers Island, and at least Rebecca and Joe look like they have jobs, Amber is really the only one ever shown to do any work, and she's like a kid. So, god fucking damn. The only worker here is Amber. I can't go into like full detail on this as to like why this is really good. I both don't have that ability to, and I'm talking about so much shit already. Like, this is already going to be a long video. I could tell even before I compile every month into one where that's going to blow my fucking computer up. But 3D Workers Island, it's a good series. It's short. You could get through the whole website in an hour at most. But this is a great series. Not series, but a great little project. I do definitely like it more overall than Petscop. Though Petscop will always be like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Definitely worth like going and giving this one a look through. I think it's worth your time. This volume of Sailor Moon was alright. The cover art I have for mine is different than the one I'm showing here. Couldn't find the one that has the same cover as mine, but yeah. Anyways, Volume 4, I liked it more than the last two. It does have pacing issues still, and the lack of backgrounds really does hurt this series quite a bit, but I don't know, I feel like, because it felt like this is way more in like one area during this part, like the Dark Crystal arc, or whatever. It felt a lot more coherent in comparison, and then the stuff afterwards, it was alright. I kind of just remember the whole vampire girl, which was... That was awesome. That also had, like, really good pacing to it. Nothing felt, like, too fast or nothing. And then also the cursed lamps or whatever. Cursed music box lamps that made everyone depressed and it rained. That one I also liked. Pacing issues there, but I liked it. Volume 4 of Sailor Moon, I liked it overall. It was alright, better than the last two. Chainsaw Man, Volume 17, obviously spoilers for anime-only watchers. I don't know. There was definitely parts where I felt a tad bit lost, though that's partially on me not reading. It's been a couple months since I read Volume 16, so I can't blame the volume for that. I did think the Katana Man was dead, but it seems like he wasn't dead. I don't know. But Volume 17, it was okay. Not as good as 16. 16 definitely felt like it touched more on, like, Denji getting accustomed to it, living a normal life after living constant trauma over and over. And Jesus Christ, I'm not a big fan of all the pets fucking dying in a fire. Good God. I feel so bad for this guy, my God. But, I don't know, this volume's okay. Not anything I'm like, head over heels for, it's okay. I'm making this one a bit before, like, the last, I don't know, maybe 3 installments. Like, I literally just finished playing it, but I love this one so much, I just had to talk about it right away. So, last year, I started getting more into, like, the Doki Doki modding community. Not really, like, making mods myself. I am not a programmer. Excuse me. But, actually, like, sitting down and playing some of them. I've only played about, not counting this, I think about 5, maybe? Trying to think off the top of my head. I've played Blue Skies, Exit Music Redux, The Good End, Triple Trouble, and some other one I don't remember where, like, MC is a superhero from another world that came in to save all the girls. I didn't like that one. But this is about my 6th one, so I'm not super experienced in the Doki mods. I played some of the high-ranking ones, mainly, like, or, like, some of the more notorious ones. I do want to get to Salvation at some point. But, Doki Doki Literature Club, Foreign Relations, I absolutely love this mod. Like last year, this one actually struck my interest quite a lot because, I guess background on me, back in 2020 and 2021, my school started doing a foreign exchange student program, and there's like this one girl from Japan, and like I got to know her pretty well. We were good friends for a bit. I don't know, good friends, but we were friends. That was like one of the few good things about school that year. I have not heard from her since like fucking, I don't know, 2023. I think because of college. I don't fucking know. But this one did strike my interest purely because of that. Because I always kind of, like, because of that, I always kind of have, like, this fascination with the whole, like not long distance, but, like, exchange shit like that. Like, exchange, the foreign shit. Like, stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about. So this one did strike my interest when I first saw it, but I didn't decide to sit down and play it yet until just now, because I did have Salvations on the mind, but I got pretty early in, and I didn't really feel motivated to continue it. I did not give that mod a fair shot. I'm not saying shit about that one. But I decided to give modding again, and go in with this one, since it's just Act 1, and I heard that mod is really long. But Doki Doki, Foreign Relations, I always forget the name. I absolutely love this mod. So it seems like this takes place a year after the main events of Doki Doki Literature Club, just minus MC ever knowing these characters. So this definitely feels a lot more fresh in that regard. We don't have like Sayori's best friend. We don't have Natsuki and Yuri fighting so much. They all already seem pretty comfortable with each other and already seem like pretty good friends. So we do definitely have, it feels like a kind of a fresh perspective. This probably ain't new. This probably has been done with other mods, but I'm still a novice little baby when it comes to the DDLC modding community. So, I don't know. This could be new. This could be something that's been done quite a few times. I can't say. But I love this already from the get-go. And with, like, the writing for the characters, all the girls are portrayed so well. I really love them here. Yuri is definitely the one I have the least opinion on by proxy of we've had the less time with her so far. But I'm really loving, like, Monika here. I'm really loving Sayori. Like, those are definitely the top right now, as we have spent the most time with them. I am very excited to see what else they do with, like, Natsuki and Yuri in the future. I am very excited for that. And so far, when looking at all this, I think I really only have, like, 2 issues. One's a nitpick, and one might be being an actual fucking idiot. I'll say my nitpick first before I start going to, like, all the praises I have with this mod. But my nitpick is that there is, like, it's noticeable, but, like, whenever, like, there's a blank bit and then a text box pops up, it will instantly come up as, like, the default one before going to, like, one of the other characters. It's not, like, anything bad. It doesn't take me out of it. It's noticeable, but it's not annoying or nothing. I just noticed it. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then the other one is that, and I could definitely just be dumb here, but there's 2 CGs that look like they were done with AI art. And I could be entirely wrong here, because I don't know when this was made. I'm not, like, saying the people behind this is horrible, because if it is AI, it could just be a predicament, like they didn't really have much other choice or didn't feel like they did. One is, like, a background is a mall. A lot of it just looks like very spaghetti in the back, so I feel like that is AI, and if it's not, I do deeply apologize to the artist behind it. Like, if they somehow encounter me and they want to confirm it's not AI, I will take back everything I said about the AI shit. But it looks like that's AI there. And then the other one is a shot, like a CG with Yuri in a casual outfit when you first run into her. That kind of looks a bit like AI to me. Again, I could be entirely wrong. If I am, I do deeply apologize to the artist. Like, the selfie shot, that looks like an art piece. That actually does look like that was human-made. The other 2, I don't know, they look like AI to me. But that's all the complaints I have, because I fucking love this. I really like how, like, MC is portrayed here. He's definitely like a fish out of the water here, being like a whole different country. And we have all these little, like, dream flashback sequences about, like, his time in the US. And I'm really curious to learn more about that, because from the sounds of it, I can't really get, like, a good read on, like, his past. Because, like, he was making a fucking makeshift bomb with a milk jug with, like, two friends. One of them, I presume, is a friend. I don't know. But, like, and then, like, there's also, like, a boxing thing. I'm like, what the fuck did this guy do beforehand? And, like, from the sound of it, it seems like he was drafted over to Japan. Like, I'm very curious where they're going with that. But speaking of, like, these other two, one, I think her name is Kira. Kira, I'm pretty sure she doesn't show up too much. I can't tell if she's, like, a family or friend. I feel like that's intentional. You're not supposed to entirely know right now, but what I did have gathered is that she is not physically well and did want to go to Japan, and this is part of why MC went to Japan. And the other is JJ, who I fucking love. I love JJ. Like, from the mods I've experienced, a lot of the weaker aspects are, like, the original side characters. Like, that's definitely one of my more nags about Blue Sky, is that I do not give a single shit about any of the side characters except the mom a little bit. But oh my god, I love JJ here. He is so fucking funny. Like, the fucking like the voice chat with or like the FaceTime with him and MC, and then Monica comes into the room. That was so fucking fun. And then the phone call before he goes into the literature club, and him calling MC a I love him. I love him. I want to see more of JJ. I kind of want to see how he interacts with the other three girls, because I already liked a little bit with Monica. I really want to see how else he talks with the others. I love him. He's fucking funny. And, like, my other praises, like I said, I really love the characterization for everyone here. Like, it doesn't feel like a bastardization of the main girls, and MC isn't some, like, blank slate. He's not boring at all. He's a really fun character, and I like seeing his banter. He doesn't feel, like, spineless or anything. He could take shit and give it back. I like him. I like MC here. He's a good guy. I love him. Like, this might be my favorite mod. I don't know if I don't know if I'm fully comfortable saying it's my number one. My number one is probably, the good ending. Though this could easily top it, as I love the storytelling, I love the characterization here, and I like where the story's going. I think just because it's only one act right now, I can't comfortably say this is my favorite mod right now. But hell, if Act 2 continues this up, it might be my favorite. Also, looking at, like, an update note from the creator of the mod, it does seem like Act 2 is supposed to release this year. I'll give an update to it on Twitter if it does. Twitter and Blue Sky. Not on YouTube. I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But he also said maybe the full game just might release this year, if not likely 2026. And I'll be excited. I'm excited. Like, I can't wait to see the full game come out. But Doki Doki Literature Club, Foreign Relations. I'm really loving this mod so far. It's such a great mod. I have 2 issues. One's a nitpick. The other I could actually just be fucking wrong on. But I love this mod. It is so good. I cannot wait for the future of this one. Volume 18, kind of a similar boat as 17. I overall like liked it. It was alright. I definitely just feel bad for Denji. And I think I know what might be at the start of Volume 19, because I saw it going all over fucking Twitter back when it happened. So, I'm fucking was a 10, I said these fucking 10. But, I am terrified to see that for Denji, Jesus Christ. I think I know what's coming. But, 18, pretty solid. One issue I do have with Chainsaw Man is, while I do like the art generally, it can look very sloppy with fight scenes. Both this and 17 definitely showed it. But Overall, this is a solid volume overall. 19, a little terrified to see what's gonna come of this poor man. Doki Doki Mayflower, another DDLC mod, and apparently like a month ago this had like a remake by the same person. So I'm playing an outdated version, but maybe I'll play that in the future, who knows. But Doki Doki Mayflower, it's a short but sweet Natsuki focused mod. And out of all like the DDLC mods that kind of put a story for Natsuki, that I've played at least, this is probably the best one overall. Excuse me. My comparisons are Blue Sky's Natsuki route, which I found to be a bit disappointing when I played it, and Exit Music Redux, where I feel like not like to like bash any other mod to praise another, not to do that, but I feel like this is what I feel like Exit Music Redux should have been. They're both stories that follow like Natsuki moving in with MC to escape her father. But this one, it doesn't become just a depressing fucking mess because MC is spineless and a simp, and Natsuki's an utter bitch. Like, these two, you generally feel like they actually do care about each other and want to do what's best for each other. And, like, there are moments where MC is put into, like, the awkward situations with MC, or not with MC, with Natsuki, but it's not a case where he can't explain anything at all and Natsuki is unwilling to fucking listen. They are just, like, MC's able to, like, formulate sentences and get across his thought process, while Natsuki is able to actually listen to him. Because Exit Music Redux, that mod is so frustrating to me. I don't know what to feel about it. Because, like, when it has, like, the nice Natsuki and MC moments, it's generally a great time. How they cover Sayori and Yuri, I love it there. And then, but, like, everything else about the mod I just fucking despise. Minus the art. I'm not going to criticize the art or anything. While, Mayflower, I don't get the naming convention for this, but whatever. Maybe I'll take place in May, actually. I don't know. But Mayflower, I like the story way more. Like I said, the general premise is that, like, Natsuki's in love with MC, but MC's struggling to make ends meet because he's only getting enough income from his mom to just stabilize himself. So Natsuki ends up dropping out of high school and opens her own little bakery. And that's generally just the gist of it. That's the gist of the plot here. And there's also a bit of a side thing with Sayori and MC just figuring out their feelings for each other. And overall, I really do enjoy this mod. The story, like I said, is pretty short but sweet. The story itself lasts only a couple hours. It's not anything too long. If I have to give any criticism for the story itself, the ending kind of comes up a bit abruptly, at least on like a first playthrough. I don't know, maybe if I play it again sometime in the future, it'll feel like more like, okay, yeah, this makes sense to end on this note. Because looking back on it, it kind of does, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like this was built up to be like the finale to it all. It does end with Natsuki getting a bakery, and it does end like on a positive light. Like, this will actually work out for her in the end. Which I hope it does. I genuinely hope it does work out for her. It's clearly something she was passionate about, and I like also all the characters here. Everyone's characterized really well. Like, there is a brief fight with Monika and Natsuki, but Monika goes out of her way to try and make it up to her, and even help support the business, even if Monika was kind of against the idea of Natsuki dropping out at first, which did kickstart a whole argument. And how, like, she made that apology was also very sweet, as it was a way to, like, support Natsuki. Buying a shit ton of fucking cupcakes and baked goods, and then doing free samples to help, like, market Natsuki so then people come see her. And, like, on a technical scale, this one, it looks pretty well, for, like, pretty good for, like, most of it. I think if I had to make any complaint, is that any character in there that's not the main girls stand out quite a lot. Because, well, you got, like, your normal sprites for, for Natsuki and MC, well, not MC, but for the main girls, you got your normal sprites that you're used to seeing, while everyone else is, like, these close-up, anime designs, and, like, these are fine, but like they stick out so much. And I get it, they might not just want to replicate the DLC art style. This was probably made like by a very small, on a budget team, so I'm not gonna like bash anything. It doesn't take me out of the experience at all. But Doki Doki Mayflower, I think this is a very short but sweet mod. Definitely, good, like if you want a Natsuki MC story, I'd say give this mod a shot. It's very sweet. It's wholesome. It's nice. It's generally nice seeing MC and Natsuki supporting each other, even like during the rough parts and getting through life together. I like this mod overall. Definitely not one of my favorites, but it is one of the better ones I've played. I do like this one. So, Centaur World is a cartoon from Netflix from 2021. So we are extremely lucky that Netflix decided to at least let it have a finale. So I consider this a pretty overall underrated cartoon. It had like its fans back when it came out, though I know no one really talks about it nowadays. And that kind of sucks, because this is generally just a very fun cartoon. So, general plot for this Centaur World is about on one side of the, like, one world, it's like an action series, which is art style, and there's like a whole war going on, and then one of the characters, Horse, gets sent into this magical world that's way more cartoony called Centaur World, where, like, everything in there are, like, centaur animal people. It's weird. It's a fun cartoon. It's one of those like super silly ones, but can definitely have its great serious moments when it needs it. And normally, this is like 2 seasons. Normally, I've been like separating them by their seasons, but considering like, excuse me, they're not that long. The 2 seasons aren't that long, and it's overall better just binge through than having that split between 1 and 2. I'm lumping them together in my, whole review. Sorry, I'm tired. But, Centaur World is a musical cartoon, and it is a very good cartoon. For season 1, I think it is amazing. It's an amazing season, setting up the world of Centaur World, and, like, setting up all these characters. I think they all interact really well with each other, and I like all the characters by themselves. And there's plenty of really good jokes here. Obviously, not all of them land. Season 1 definitely uses a lot of fart jokes, and there was a small handful that got me to laugh, I will admit, but not a lot of them. But it also has a lot of great musical numbers. I especially like the, I don't know them, between, what the fuck are their names? Why am I blanking on them? They're like Zilius and the tiger. I don't remember the tiger's name. But that was a very fun musical number. I also just like the theme of the Nowhere King. And hey, fuck it, speaking of Nowhere King is such a great antagonist. Like, he has a really, like, kind of creepy design going for him already, which contrasts well with the Centaur World design. And he's also just a really cool looking antagonist. Like, the design is really fucking sick. Like, it's creepy, but it looks fucking dope. And, like, the more we learn about him, the more, like, we realize he's a very tragic villain, but I fucking love him. He doesn't get the most screen time, which works kind of more in his favor. But, because when he does appear, he does make good impact. And, like, everything else from Season 1 leading into it, it has a lot of fun. There's definitely a lot of good fun moments, a lot of good musical numbers. And, like, the storytelling for Season 1 is great. I like how we get, like, little glimpses of characters that is expanded way more in Season 2. And as for Season 2, I think the start of it is very rocky. I was not that big of a fan of the Bird Tar episodes. Like, oh god, I did not like them that much. I'm okay with, like, the quirkier humor the show has, but it felt much with that one. They also used Comfortable Doug a lot. I get the team behind it probably really liked Comfortable Doug. I don't blame him, but he did kind of feel slightly overused at points. And Season 2, I would not be surprised if Netflix was going to pull the plug on this show, as it lasted for like a total of a year, was 2 seasons, and Season 2 had a bit fewer episodes. Well, like, the last episode is, like, an hour long. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bit more planned, but they couldn't do because of, Netflix not liking good shows. They don't like good cartoons getting attention. They only allow Big Mouth to get any attention. Jesus Christ. But season 2, it definitely has like a rocky start, but I do think it finds its footing about halfway through. And the finale is really fucking good. Oh my god, I love the finale. And the musicals are also really good here. This is like a song throughout both seasons, but the Nowhere King theme, I fucking love it. I love how eerie it sounds. Like, it has a soothing music box, but the lyrics are definitely, like, unnerving. And especially, like, the song during, like, the final fight with, like, everyone's own songs, like, combining into one. That was really cool. I really like Derpleton's Please Sir. I don't know why. Of all the songs there, that fills me with, like, the most emotion. And, like, speaking of Derpleton and all the other characters, I really like the main cast. It did take me a bit to really get to Ched. Like the joke of like him hating Horse was funny at first, but it did kind of grade a slight bit until they started getting more even grounds on like what they agree with and whatnot. And just like all the characters there, I think are fun. I just think all of them bounce off each other well. I don't really dislike any of the main cast. I dislike the Llama Link hate in the Bird-Tar episode. That was unnecessary. We love Llama Link here. And also like Horse's journey throughout becoming more comfortable with herself in like Centaur world. And like the series itself feels like a story of like self-acceptance and self-love, just liking who you are, accepting who you are. As a spoiler alert for everything going forward with the Nowhere King, where like he as a centaur he could not accept himself for who he was, which delved in him splitting himself in half, which did kind of lead into like this everlasting war that was going on. And like throughout the series it's constantly like Horse like being not sure if she'll remember her rider, or like because like she constantly changes her vision, like her design keeps changing, that like evolve more with Centaur World, and it kind of gets to where like she doesn't know if her rider will even recognize her, especially now that she's a talking horse. Overall, like Centaur World is a fun cartoon. It's not long either. It's about like it's 18 episodes, but with the last episode being longer, it's about a total of 20 episodes altogether. And like the finale, fucking awesome. Like the finale is great. I do think this is a great cartoon. I love the main cast. Derpleton might be my favorite. Either Derpleton or Zulius. Overall, I think they might be my overall favorites. Like it's a very fun cartoon. I recommend giving it a watch. You can finish it in like a day, probably. But Centaur World, while it looks very silly and would be a dumb show at first, it's a great cartoon and well worth giving it a watch. I hope no one minds that the footage for this is going to be the same minute-long trailer looping. But Doki Doki Pokemon Trainer Club Plus. This is, as you could probably guess, a Doki Doki and Pokemon mod, where it's DDLC but with Pokemon, basically. And I mean, this mod seems almost tailor-made to me, as both a Pokemon fan and a Doki Doki fan. Now we just need a Doki Doki Death Battle mod, and then we are fucking golden. That'll be my sync, damn it. That will be tailor-made to me specifically, and no one else. Anyways, Pokemon Doki Doki. I think this is a very good mod. It is a very flawed mod, but it is a very good mod. For starters, all the sprite work in here and the music, they are very good. I don't know if the person that made the mod made all of these, but if they did, very good job. I really like the DDLC sprites here, and the DDLC music with Pokemon music. Very good. And if not, the people that did make it, it's same stuff as I just said. It's very good. And for the last act or so of the game, it is pretty challenging, but doesn't seem ultimately unfair mod. Because for the battles you do for during Act 4, I believe it would be. They are challenging, but you have like a full level up team. Well, you have like 5 Pokemon, but still, you have a very balanced team, all things considered. And the opposing trainers are mostly pretty fair, having pretty similar set teams to you, so it doesn't feel super like unbalanced or nothing. As well as like the final battle with Monica. Monica's final battle, it's a bit on the tougher side, as she does have both a Palkia and Dialga with special forms. So that's a bit of a yikes. That's a real challenging one that can easily be lost if her Palkia gets enough time to set up special attack ups. But other than that, it's a very cool battle. And there's also like this cool little idea of like taking all the Pokemon trainers from other worlds and putting them into this world to make a fun experience for the player. Which like Zinnia is like the main one, as she is the one that kind of introduced the whole idea of altering timelines within the Pokemon universe. Was the Orath postgame. And overall, I think these are really good. I think these are pretty cool. Now my criticisms of the game, pacing is just not that good, I'm sorry. So like, the context of it, like in Doki Doki, MC knew Sayori before the events of the game. In this, that is not the case, as they just introduce each other, and day 2 of them knowing each other, Sayori is confessing her depression and then her feelings, and then dies. So it kind of feels very wonky with that pacing, and then the similar stuff happens with Yuri and kind of Natsuki, where at least with base DDLC, we have a couple more days. I feel like this really could have benefited from having an extra day to it, like an extra day or two before like each act starts anew. And I definitely think that could help with the pacing a lot, and could have naturally helped to extend the length of the game, as it's about an hour and a half to beat. A good chunk of that isn't actually playing the game, though. A good chunk of that time will be spent just grinding. As another issue I have, which is definitely more of the Pokemon side of things, is that the level curving is not that good. It is very poor. You are basically forced to spend a lot of time grinding. Because, so I guess, for example, I think this was definitely the most notable in Act 3, when you team up with Natsuki, where you have to get about to level 24 or so to match the Pokemon Natsuki like Natsuki's Deerling. And the Pokemon you're fighting are like early to mid teen levels, but they're all like early route Pokemon. They're like Bidoof, Pidgey, Rattata, Baneri. You are not getting a lot of EXP from these Pokemon, and like their levels are not making it like that much better. And then you fight a Kangaskhan that's like level 28. And it's not like there's a lot of trainer battles in between those 2 points. So you are spending a lot of time grinding, which just feels like fluff to extend the game's length, when I feel like you could have just had like more story to it to extend that gameplay to a more natural degree without just being grinding. Like, I'm not a fan of grinding in Pokemon. That's one of the worst aspects about the series, which makes me so glad it's like EXP share from Gen 6 onward kind of nullified the use of like the need to grind in these games for the most part. And like, this has Gen 5 mechanics and prior up until Mega Evolution for the final battle, which, fine enough. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the level curve. The level curving in this is really bad. The only time I don't mind it is Act 4, as that's when you have like level 65 Pokemon, and you are battling just trainers at that point. There was one with like a level 85 Garchomp. What the fuck? That I have to question too. But like the level curving is bad here. I don't like it. If like for some reason the creator of this mod is watching and you plan to maybe remake this again, I think having the level curved a lot more naturally to where like the player will not need to grind a shit ton to be evenly leveled would be a very good idea to do. And then the last issue I have is that there's a lot of like theme shit that really takes me out of the game. Like, for example, there are times where you're just in like the opponent is sending out something that's just not a Pokemon, or it has like a weird ass nickname. Like the first time I saw the weird ass nickname, I'm like, oh, the game is breaking more and more. This makes sense. But then it became a lot more like meme heavy. I'm like, okay, I'm not too fond of this. Like one trainer sends out Neko Arc, you know, the little cat meme thing, Neko. You probably know what that is. And like I get the idea that it's bringing all these different things in the one, all these different timelines and universes in the one. So obviously shit's gonna be breaking. But it just takes me out of the experience so fucking hard. And like it happens a good number of times too. It's not like a one-off thing. So like it kind of bugs me. And there's like this one trainer, one surfer, who has like voice acting, and it's very like meme-like voice acting. You know the like you know that meme? It's basically that. And it just like it's funny, but it takes me out of the experience quite a lot. Not like, keep in mind, I don't hate this mod. I actually do think it's a good mod, but these are just criticisms I have with it that I would like to be fixed upon if the creator of this does a future mod, be it another Pokemon mod, another Doki Doki mod, or maybe another version of like this specific mod of DDLC Pokemon. I think these would definitely be things to like consider. Also, like Natsuki, like during like the game breaking shit, like when you battle Natsuki, she's Buffsuki all of a sudden, and then when you battle her at the end of Act 3, her Deerling is level 69, which I get it. You want to have the Pokemon at an unbeatable level, but of all numbers, you went with the fucking funny meme number. Like you just go to like 99 or 100, or I get you don't want to be level 100. That's generic as shit, but I don't know. I feel like going like level 75, something that's just, or maybe 65 to signify that like, okay, that's definitely going to be your next level. I don't know, something like that. Like I said, I do not hate this mod. I have a lot of criticisms with it though. I do think this is a good mod. Like if you are a fan of both Doki Doki and Pokemon, play it. I would suggest playing it. It's a pretty fun little thing. I have my issues with it, but I do think this is an overall good mod. Kaiju no 8, volume, what is this? Yeah, 10? Another great volume. The fight with Kikoru and number 15 is really cool. And learning that special kaijus are evolving to specific counters, like the specific people in the kaiju hunting force, that is really sick. Like, the water one that evolved specifically to counter like I forget his name, but it's Future Sight that's based on like electromagnetic waves or some bullshit like that. That is pretty cool. A short part here, but this is a great volume. Really fucking cool. So I think the story of me getting this is more interesting than my opinion on it. So, last year, I was doing my retrospect. I was like, look, watching every episode of Death Battle is like a retrospective thing. And I got to like season 10, I rewatched Killer vs. Misaka. And like during the waiting period for the episode, I did binge Certain Magical Index, the anime for it. I didn't do the side series, it's like Railgun and Accelerator. I just watched the main one. But I was kind of thinking, like, I kind of want to get more into the series, because this rundown is actually really fucking good. And I did enjoy my time, for the most part, with the anime. I kind of thought it was okay overall, but I did mostly enjoy my time, especially, like, early on. And I heard from fans of the series that the anime isn't the best adaptation of light novels, and if you don't want to read the light novels, the manga is a better way to do so. So I decided, fuck it, I want to get more into the series. Went on Thriftbook. I'm fucking calling Thriftbook out for this bullshit. And I got the first volume there, because they had it. That was cheapest I was finding it. That was like $12, $13, I think. The price of a new book, essentially. And they said the quality was good. It was good quality. I also got like a silent voice, the volume I talked about way in like January or some shit. This has been on the back burner for quite a bit. But when it got here, the quality was not good. I might have pictures show up, I don't know. But basically, and these are like pictures from when I got it. But the front had a bunch of like cracks and creases all over it, black marks all over the fucking front. Uh, the back had purple stains on it. I don't know what the fuck from what. There's obviously the stickers on the book on both like the back and the spine, which did leave residue, which fucking hell. And then the spine itself, the back part was coming off of it. The back fucking cover was coming off the fucking spine. So like, and this was good quality. The bullshit that was not good quality. Like if the quality was, I don't know, acceptable, I would not be as pissy about this. But that pissed me off, and it still pisses me off. I shouldn't be mad, though. I did get a refund for that, and they also gave me a refund for A Silent Voice, which was perfectly fine, the condition of that book. So I should not be complaining. I'll stop complaining about it after this. But that was like, Jesus Christ. I got a free book out of it at the very least, but I finally got to read this, and it's alright. I think it's a pretty solid volume. Definitely got more like into it like during the halfway or so point. It kind of felt a bit wishy-washy at the start, but I would like to continue this at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna get the second volume off Riftbook. I've not bought for them since. Like, and I think I got this in what? It was in October, early October. I have not bought from them since, and I don't know if I really will. Because, good God, it's like but this volume, it was alright. I talked more about the story than I did the actual book, but Certain Magical Index Volume 1, it's alright. I would like to continue the series at some point. So I guess generally just take most of what I said about Season 1 and apply it to this. Down to Dawn Volume 1, I got it after finishing Season 1. I'm like, okay, I might try getting into the manga, because if I really like the anime, I will typically really like the manga, and I'll get up with the anime, and you know how it is, and I just don't watch the anime. But Volume 1, Down to Dawn, it's alright. It's pretty solid. I think, like, the very start of Down to Dawn is probably my overall least favorite, at least from, like, Season 1. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. Not that it's bad, I just don't think it's as strong as what follows. And that's kind of just what I feel like about Volume 1 of the manga. I'll probably continue it. Like, it's big. I won't have much issues finding, like, next couple volumes. Probably. I don't know, but Down to Dawn Volume 1, it's alright. So I decided to, well, I meant to watch Scream last October because I was working at Spirit Halloween, and considering like Ghostface is a very prominent part there, I figured I should probably get to know this character a bit more, as well as like a lot of the other big horror movies, which I didn't get around to doing just because of being super busy. But ironically, with Spirit, busy with Spirit, too busy to watch these movies, but. I ended up finding like the original trilogy for like $5 at Walmart last October, which fucking Walmart's $5 DVD bargain bin is completely underrated. I swear to God, you are going to find so many bangers there. But I found this, and I only got around to watching it now, and yeah, I could see why Ghostface is considered a big horror icon mascot. Like, I wasn't, like, in love with this movie. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's, like, the greatest thing ever, but I do think it's a good movie. I like how it doesn't really attempt to, like, subverb all these horror tropes, but instead plays into them with the movie. I think that's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. I could definitely see how, like, this rejuvenated the slasher genre, as it just played more into these type of tropes instead of, instead of just trying to just repeat them or anything like that. I think that's cool. Ghostface is definitely a pretty cool character. I think the killers here, I like them. They're neat. They're little psychos, but I like them. And I like the final girl here. The only characters I can really remember the name of are like Stu and Billy. And I think that's the names of the Ghostface. And I like them. And I like the garage kill. That shit was fucking awesome. Like Ghostface or Scream, not my favorite thing in the world, but this is definitely a good movie, and I can see why it's like an icon of horror and slashers. So while I did like the first Scream movie, I could not care for Scream 2. Like, I was bored. I like the start. I like how like it takes the events of Scream and turns it into an inverse movie, Stab. That's something I'd known of. I knew that before going to the movie. I don't know if it's called Stab in this or that was like a Thor thing. But I do like that they kind of took the movie and then made it an inverse thing. That's pretty cool. Like the opening was the movie theater. I like that. That was pretty cool. But I didn't really care for this one. From what I've heard, it's hotly debated on like what one is worse between 2 and 3. Uh, that was 2. I was just kind of bored. It didn't really do anything for me. And to finally wrap up the Scream trilogy, the original one, Scream 3, kind of the same thing as 2. I don't care. I was just completely out of it this whole movie. Um, the whole voice thing changer, that was neat. Uh, I think it's a cool concept, but definitely is way ahead of its time. Like, it's not that believable for the year 2000, really. I think the whole like movie script thing, I don't know, that was neat. Like just the killings happening during a movie recreation of the original killings. I think that's neat. I don't know. I don't care. Is the thing. That's kind of the long of it. I don't care for this movie like at all. Like I said, the voice changer thing is a cool concept, but very very out there for a movie taking place in fucking the year 2000. If that was done nowadays, I think that's definitely way more like believable. But for the time that this released, I can agree. Like it kind of takes you out of it just a bit. But Scream Free, I don't care. Fourth thing in this day, Jesus Christ. But Kaiju No 8, Volume 11. I have one more after this that I have, and I'm like completely caught up with all the volumes I have currently as of recording this. But Volume 11, once again, great value. Ignore that the image I'm using is like the Japanese cover art. I couldn't find an image of the English one, so I'm just putting the Japanese one there. But again, this is a great volume. I really like Kaiju No 8, if you can't tell. Like the fucking the continuation of the fight between like Kikoru and Kaiju number 15, really fucking cool. Like they were like 15 was made to be like a mirror to Kikoru. I feel like I'm saying her name wrong. And like she works as a great mirror, and it adds way more to Kaiju no 9. And like I fucking love this guy as an antagonist because he is a cold, calculated, evil son of a bitch. Because number 15 just wanted Nine's love as a father, and he would only give that to her if she could kill Kikoru. And then, like, as the two, like, because like 15's whole thing was messing with your mind, and so she kept showing Kikoru the only reason she was fighting to get praise from her mother and father, who, spoiler, both fucking dead. But then, like, it's shown that now her goal is to get the praise of her teammates to be able to, like, fight alongside them on equal footing. So, that was a cool fucking turn back to that shit. I love that. That was awesome. And, like, and fucking, promising 15 to give No Nine a punch in the face just for her. That was really cool because like she saw into No Nine's own memories, so or not No Nine's and fucking 15's memory. So that was fucking cool. And also like the fight between the Lazy Bones fucking kaiju killer and the water one. I'm forgetting the guy's name. The water kaiju. I also forgot that number. And just seeing like how like this guy that's just portrayed as a lazy but skilled fighter like fucking evolve past the limits of the kaiju armor he's wearing or the kaiju weapon with the fucking eye and shit. That was awesome. That was cool. Like Kaiju No 8 is a very cool series. I'm loving the manga. I have one more after this, and then I'll be completely caught up with the physical releases until I want to say it was like October 13 releases, which fucking hell, that's a while. But can't wait for that. This volume, it was great. So I think outside like Family Guy, I think all like shows I rewatch, I'm just gonna compile into like one thing. But classic Ben 10, I felt super nostalgic and decided, fuck it. I feel like rewatching this episode, not this episode, this show, and yeah, it's as good as childhood serves. Like I binged it in 2022. I want to say it was 2021 or 2022. I binged it for like the first time ever because I know there's a couple episodes I had not seen at that point, and I decided to rewatch it after the whole kit and caboodle of the Ben 10 collector's DVD set mess up where it didn't include like half of Omniverse and not everything was in high def. So I just felt like rewatching the show after that whole mess up. Thank God I didn't buy that DVD set, but yeah, classic Ben 10. It's as good as memory serves. This is definitely like one of my favorite cartoons. I love like the gradual progression of Ben and Gwen like liking each other more throughout the saying and treating each other as family and not hating each other. I like that. That was cool. And a lot of the aliens here I love. I definitely think Classic did the whole alien design the best. As a lot of these feel like aliens. Like Alien Force and onwards, a lot of the transformations don't feel as much like these are aliens. But like I don't like hate those designs. I just think this one does it the best with shit like Accelerate and Stinkfly. You know those ones. I guess if I had to give like any criticism, the monster aliens, they really did not utilize those at all. Like all those ones got used once each, and then just never fucking touched until Omniverse, where like that is just wild that they did not use those aliens much at all. And I guess I had another complaint. Oh yeah, like a good amount of like the classic aliens too. They kind of got used less and less. Like Ripjaws didn't really get too much usage, and I get like Ripjaws is definitely more like a you need a more specific circumstance for this alien to really shine. But a big part of like Ben was like using his creativity to adapt to a situation. So I feel like he could have done more of that with Ripjaws. Also, Ghost Freak, he really didn't get used much to begin with, and then like when he escaped the Omnitrix, just didn't get used at all past that. And I understand why. It's fair that Ben wouldn't want to become Ghost Freak, after Ghost Freak escaped the Omnitrix and tried to fucking kill him and his cousin, but there's a good amount of instances before that where like Ghost Freak feels like a good use here. Like when they're trying to sneak into a building, Ben went gray matter when Ghost Freak felt like a much better option as, the invisible and intangibility thing. That kind of worked much better. That would have been a much more, much more useful than the tiny little alien dude. Tiny little frog alien. But classic Ben 10, it holds up wonderfully. I love this cartoon. It sucks the reboot couldn't really capture that magic. And the original Ben 10 it's a classic. It's weird that that's gonna be like, I think it actually is like 20 years old now, which is fucking wild to think about. But I love this show. This is definitely like a childhood classic and still holds up to this day. So I found this movie while like looking for a list of like Japanese horror films. I was really bored at night, so but I found this and I don't know what about it intrigued me, but I found it on YouTube for free with English subtitles. So I decided to give Tag a watch. And like side tangent here, I tried just looking up Tag 2015, and apparently there was a Western movie called Tag released in 2015. So that was very, very funny. I not planned at all, but that was funny. Anyways, this movie is fucking insane, and I mean that in a good way. This is a Japanese movie, and it's like the first movie I've watched since Demon Slayer Mugen Train that I watched with Japanese subtitles. Because I'm dyslexic, so I'm not really great with subtitles. Very, very rarely will I watch something that is entirely in sub. And not like sparking the whole dub versus sub debate. It's just personally easier for me to watch a movie dubbed in English than it is to watch a movie with subtitles. You know? But when I say this, I don't mind watching this in subtitles. This movie is like very fucking bizarre, and I had a roller coaster of emotions. Like the horror cold opening is so fucking good, and then you got so much insane shit. Like there's movies that not movies, there's scenes that just make me go, what the fuck? There's movies that will make me just start laughing, like fucking burst out laughing because of like how insane it is. There's scenes that will make me incredibly uncomfortable. There's scenes that just go because like there's one where like okay, before I start delving into fucking anything, spoilers. I recommend watching this movie before going into this because I'm going to spoil it. It's a surreal movie, so you still may end up with questions after watching it or before watching it, but it's a surreal movie. I recommend watching it before you watch this review of it. Or I guess my opinions on it. I don't know if this is really much of a review. But I recommend watching this movie first before going into this. But, there's shit that just makes me go, like, it activates my gag reflexes. One is, and this is, like, near the end of the movie. So, again, spoilers. I'll give you, like, a couple seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... You go on and watch it? Okay, at some point near, like, the ending part of the movie, or leading up to the end, one of the girls, Aki, who is the fucking goat, like, she has wires sticking off her wrists, and, the main girl, Mitsuko, she has to pull those wires out, and it is so fucking uncomfortable to watch, like, Jesus. Ugh. Like, that gets to me. Like, oh my god. And you might be wondering, why is there wires? We'll get to there when we get to there. But this movie is about a girl, Mitsuki, running from some unknown force and going into, like, what seems like a different universe where she doesn't remember her name. Shit is very different. Like, she does not recognize anyone, but people recognize her. It's very surreal. And, like, the reason why she's running is because she's on, like, a bus trip with, like, her high school class. And the fucking, out of nowhere, the entire top half of the bus, and the top half of everyone there but her, are fucking just split in twain by, like, what seems like the wind. And the wind's just going around ripping shit apart. And, like, that's where it peaks as a horror film. This was listed under horror, but I wouldn't really call this a horror movie in, like, bunch of bloods and guts and gore galore, you know, like shit like that, like what you expect from like Friday the 13th, or a better example would be Battle Royale. Because I watched like a trailer for it, and like it kind of painted this something a bit more akin to Battle Royale. The government is tired of all these high schoolers, so they're gonna make them fucking die and get hunted down by the teachers. That's what the trailer made out to be, and it is not like that at all. Maybe that might be, like, the marketing that they used to put into the movie, kind of like a Blair Witch-esque thing, but that's not really like this. And the whole cosmic force with the wind is not really explained. It kind of is explained. It's a Japanese movie. It's going to be a little weird. But throughout the movie, we constantly see I forget her name constantly. Mitsuko going to going into a different reality where she's a completely different person and all these different people know her and she doesn't know what's going on or who she even is. Except for one girl that keeps following around ever since in the second world, Aki. And Aki is the goddamn goat. We fucking respect Aki in this household. Like, she is the definition of a Giga Chad. She is built different. Like, she is who helps Mitsuo calm down after witnessing a whole bunch of fucking death in the second part of the movie. And she is basically who helps Mitsuo kind of snap into realizing what's happening during the third section of the movie during a wedding. And, like, she is a fucking badass. She kicks the absolute shit out of a whole bunch of other bitches. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. And like, I love her. Aki is awesome. Also, yes, Aki Mitsuo, please. I'm not gonna say please fuck because of what's something else in the movie. But, like, I want them together. And they're awesome. They're awesome together. I'm not a shipper, but, like, I want them together. I love them. But another thing I absolutely love is this movie's fucking humor. Japan is known for its very wacky sense of humor in a way, and I think I have, not to sound like a loser American who loves Japanese culture, but I mean, yeah, I do really like Japan culture. I like a lot of the comedy there. I don't know, I vibe with it a lot. And there's a lot of wacky ass shit here that I love. Like, fucking Aki fucking bodying a whole bunch of people. I don't know why, but that made me burst out laughing. Like, and Mitsuko fucking taking this one girl and flipping her onto a table with a bunch of, like, wine glasses. I don't know why I lost my shit there. But there's another part where it's like a marathon, and there's like 3 people chasing them. 2 were teachers that killed every fucking student in a school during the second part. And also this person that has like a pig head. Like, they were in the wedding scene. A bunch of girls were trying to make Mitsuo kiss the pig head dude. But he comes back in the marathon scene. And the dude just is doing like cartwheels and fucking front flips and shit. And it's just the most insane. I burst out fucking laughing because, like, why is it there? I love it, but why is it there? It's so fucking funny. Also, just like these 2 teachers just fucking, like, kicking all these other races aside where it's just like, this is the most redundant shit ever. You're outspeeding them. Like, it's so funny because they just, like, kind of ragdoll. I love it. Oh my god, and I'm gonna say, like, my one criticism, I originally had 2, but the second one was very purposeful for the movie. But I think my one criticism is a lot of cheap effects in this movie, which I can look past, because again, some of them is kind of played more so for the funnies, and I could get behind it. Like, I think there are scenes where, like, they know their effects are very cheap, and they use it in their favor. Like, one scene where it's like an alternative timeline, where this one girl, what the hell is her name? It's like Surreal. Her name's like short for Surreal. It's Sir, but that doesn't sound right, so I'm just gonna call her Surreal. Like, she throws a rock into the lake while explaining, like, oh, these, like, alternate timeline shit where if I didn't throw the rock into the lake, this other thing would happen. And then it cuts to a scene of another girl with some psycho getting fucking mauled by an alligator. It's so cheap looking. The alligator looks so fucking stupid. But I love it, because, like, it comes completely out, like, left field. And 2, just how, like, over the top it is. And then we, like, cut back to, like, a more calm scene. I love it. I'm pretty sure the name of the girl was Taiko. I'm pretty sure it was. But, like, I love it. That was wild. And then the other thing I originally was going to have as a complaint, but it's actually very purposeful for the film and the message it's trying to tell you, is there's a lot of sexualization. Like, there's a lot of panty shots. It's especially fucking panty shots. Whether purposeful or the wind doing it. And, like, in, like, the fucking, in the marriage part, when all these girls are making fun of Mitsuko, for some fucking reason, they all just start stripping down to their underwear. Like, all of them do. It's very weird, and like the two teachers that are like hunting all of them down during the marathon are in like dominatrix-esque gear, and like it's very sexualized, it's very uncomfortable, but that is the point of the movie. The movie is about like the sexualization of women in Japan, at least during like the mid 2010s, the mid 2010s. That is the message of the movie, which is especially like hammer homed in where like you remember where I talked about the girl Aki having the fucking wires ripped out of her wrists. Well, that's because all of this is happening in the simulation where Mitsuo is the main character. That's why during all these events of the wind fucking decapitating everyone, the teachers shooting every fucking student, the whole like the two teachers coming back to fight Aki and Mitsuko, it's why she never dies. It's because she is the main character. She cannot die. And like everyone else dies, and everyone else will continue dying until Mitsuko dies. If she is alive, they will only die. Because like they're in a video game. There was like an accident 150 years ago in the year 2034 where everyone died, but all their DNA was stored into like a computer game, and there's this one old dude that basically turned it into a game, and he made a clone of like his younger self to fuck Mitsuko. And like, yet this kind of like hammers in the point of what this movie is. It's about the sexualization of women in Japan. Again, in the 2010s, I don't know what it's like nowadays, but you can kind of see that shit with anime. A lot of like high school girls being sexualized, because like yeah, the first two sections of this movie are high school girls, and you don't see a single guy in the movie outside maybe the pighead dude until like Mitsuo enters the male world, as it's called, which is supposed to be like the real world where it's mostly is it dominated or populated? I think it's dominated by men. And not to get, like, political or nothing, I choose to stay off of any form of politics on my own channel. And again, this is the mid-2010s. This film released in 2015. So maybe it's not like this anymore in Japan. I don't know. But that's kind of the point. A lot of the sexualization is supposed to be uncomfortable to you. Because that's the fucking message of the movie. And also maybe against, like, also a saying of, like, girls who might be into other girls being forced to get in a straight relationship, as it's very clear that Mitsuko and Aki do like each other. Or it's at least heavily fucking implied. Or maybe that's just me saying, yeah, get together. You two are fucking awesome. Get together. Like, that does feel like that is definitely the message of the movie. The over-sexualization of women in, Japan. So, all these uncomfortable scenes, they play into the movie's favor. As, like, yeah, you're supposed to feel uncomfortable. And I think that's more akin to what the horror is in this. Because at the start, you think it's like a cosmic force type of horror. As the wind is not really explainable. It's hunting down these people and fucking cutting them in twain. But it feels more so just like the insanity of it all. Like, it feels more like a insane fever dream type movie. Until you realize, oh, this is like real world horror. In a way. The horror of how sometimes some people are treated. You know what I mean? So, I love this movie. I also like the characters. Mitsuko does not speak a lot, and that plays more into, like, the favor of the movie. Because she is very quiet. She's terrified, which, that's completely understandable. Yeah, I mean, if I just saw everyone around me get fucking split in half by the fucking wind, and then I go into another world where I don't recognize anything, and then the teachers start fucking killing every goddamn student. Like, I'm just enjoying my time in class, and then the fucking teacher pulls out a goddamn minigun and starts blasting everyone away! Like, that's the wild shit I'm talking about. Like, it is fucking wacky in that part. But, I would also be kind of scared. I don't know if I'd be talking. I think I'd be fucking panicking about the movie. But Aki's always there to, like, help. And I love this. I really like this movie. This might be one of my favorite movies of the year. I don't know. We are not even halfway through this movie. I talked a lot in this movie. You can tell I do very much enjoy this film. I think it's a great film. And also the ending is very weird, because you know how I said, like, as long as Mitsuko is still alive, all these other girls are going to die. They're basically NPCs in this world. Well, in the movie, she takes her pencil in one world, a broken glass bottle that she used to kill a bunch of people in the wedding, and it's not explained for the marathon one. I think it's just connected to it all, where she stabs herself in the chest, and then she dies there, and then the movie ends with a scene with her waking up in the snow and running off. So I think it might be a bit ambiguous what might happen with Mitsuko after all that, as well as all the other characters. I like to believe that they all lived and Mitsuko was able to come back somewhere else, or this is all basically a kind of like a dream in a way, which I know dream endings are pretty much cop-outs, but I don't know, I feel like it could definitely work more so in the favor of this movie. Regardless, though, I really did like this movie. It was a wild fucking ride, with a lot of wacky shit, a lot of, like, uncomfortable shit. I love this movie. I am glad I actually decided to go and watch this one. This is another one of those manga that I don't believe has any anime adaptations, so enjoy whatever the fuck I put on screen for you as background footage and music. But Alice 19th, I found this randomly at Goodwill. Same time I found those first two Evergreen volumes from back in, February, I think that was. And I surprisingly liked it overall. There is a love triangle thing, which I don't give a piss for, but there's some fun reactions in it. Like, I like a lot of the facial reactions. The art itself is pretty good. The cast is alright. I don't think it's anything I'm going to actively go on my way to really continue, but I saw it was an alright volume. It wasn't, like, anything bad. I think it's pretty neat. I like the humor in it, basically. I guess, I mainly just like the humor and like the art for it. It's not bad. I was hoping to see, the Looney Tunes movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, in theaters, but around the time of it releasing and airing, I was just constantly busy, so I didn't really have that opportunity to go see the movie. Because I really only get to see movies, like, in theaters on Tuesdays, because that's when, like, there's a deal and it's affordable. But I either just worked on a Tuesday, or it was not in the budget to go see a movie in theaters. Which really fucking sucks. I would have loved to support this in theaters. But actually, like, I was sitting down watching it after it released on DVD, and I actually saw it. I fucking love this movie, and it is a crime Warner Brothers did, like, actually nothing to market this movie. Like, The Day the Earth Blew Up is a very fun movie. I think, for the comedy, it really captures, I think, what makes people love the Looney Tunes. In the very, like, zany, wacky humor, with a lot of, like, fun little, slapstick shenanigans. And visual stuff. Like, the movie does well in that regards. And also, there's this one character, Farmer Joe, I'm pretty sure his name was. He's animated in a completely different style, and I fucking love it. He has, like, a more, like, super detailed art style compared to the rest of the world. And it makes him more mystical in a way. And, like, which is even funnier when, like, we get, like, the few scenes of him, like, walking. And it's more like fucking, like, South Park characters walking than anything else, where he just jumps up and down. I fucking love it. And him just vanishing into the sunset like a mystical being. This is beautiful. But The Day the Earth Blew Up is such a fun movie. Like, it is funny. There's a lot of jokes in here that got me to laugh. Obviously, not all of them. Definitely the worst one was, them trying to go viral, but I like how quickly that blew up in their faces. That was funny. And the rest of the movie is just really funny. I also do like the main story here. There's a lot of moments where I was kind of worried about falling into, like, some form of a trope. The best friends falling out, being incredibly forced, the miscommunication between Porky and, what's her, Petula? Petula? I'm pretty sure that's her name. If that's not her name, I just looked up many things for no reason. But I love that. Also, like, showing, like, Petula being, like, the super hot and sexy girl in Porky's eyes, only to cut back to, like, a reality where she is kind of, like, a little clumsy. It's very funny. But it doesn't really fall into, like, a lot of tropes, thankfully, and honestly, I love that. Again, it's really funny. It's Looney Tunes. It subverts your expectations in a very fun, comedic way. I love that. If you haven't seen this movie, because like either you didn't know it exists because Warner Brothers doesn't like their icon mascot apparently, or you just didn't have the opportunity to see it in theaters like me, I highly recommend giving this a watch now that it's on DVD and I believe also like on digital services right now. Like, please go give this a watch. This is a very fun movie. It was funny. I like the story too. I love our little cast. Daffy and Porky bounce off each other really well. This is a very fun movie. It was worth it was worth my time. I'm sure it'll be worth your time. So I highly recommend. This is the first volume of Spy Family I've read since literally the end of last year. But Spy X Family, or Spy Family, Volume 13, this is a great value from start to end. Like, even Yuri, a character who I don't really like, I actually enjoyed him in this. He wasn't entirely, like, Yor-centric. Minus, like, the Yor fucking karate moves, that was a little weird. But everything else about this volume, I honestly very much enjoyed. Like, at worst, there's some, like, kind of forgettable sequences. Like, again, at worst, you know, like, the whole... After the whole, like, Zeus thing with Anya, like, I kind of forgot about that, and Bond trying to, you know, make his fur look like a lion's mane, and that. But, like, other than that, yeah, this is a very, like, great volume. I even like the free little, free little worker friends. Like, they're pretty nice here. I especially like them at the veterans thing. And I like learning more about at least one of them. Like, honestly, this is a very great volume all around. And there's also, like, the little bonus chapters that kind of add a bit more to Frankie. I like that. I like Frankie. Frankie's that weird uncle, but you don't really dislike him. He's not creepy. He's just kind of a lonely dude, but... Yep, honestly, Spy Family, Volume 13, I really like this one. I hope 14 is just as good as this.